Welcome to Workday. In this demo, you'll be learning exactly what a typical day looks like for you when moving through the foreclosure funnel system. We'll be covering simple step by step layout that'll help you get better at repetition, memory, and focus. The more you do this process over and over, is how you actually get more contracts and close more deals. But before we get started, I want to share a motivational quote with you by Mahatma Gandhi. He said, "You may never know what results come of your action, but if you do nothing, there will be no result." So basically, in order to see true success as a real estate wholesaler, you need to develop a plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It's that simple. And that success can only be true by doing it every day until you develop what's called muscle memory that helps you execute this like it's normal. All right, cool. So the outline today is as followed. It's going to be about pulling leads, Google Sheets, skip tracing, setting up email and SMS campaigns, what's your follow-up system look like, and what type of offers are you making. When executing these daily, you'll get responses. You cannot be lazy, distracted, or put this off for another time, because if you do that and you don't go after the deal, guess what? Someone else would get that deal before you do, and that doesn't build confidence with you. It builds disappointment. Your main goal weekly should be making as many offers as possible, and following these steps in this order will get you what you expect, those 15K, 20K, and 50K assignments. Okay, so first is pulling leads, right? This is basically like using websites like Bid for Assets, looking for sale by owners on Zillow, Redfin, etc., using foreclosures.com, auction.com, county poll, or going to the actual county and getting county lists. If you use county poll, I have a link I could share, or you could click on it in the description of section of this video. So these basically present high intent leads with established motivation already, right? Because these are all foreclosures, right? That's 70% of the work done for you, so you can skip the 21 questions with the homeowner. These same lead types allow you to know the debt amount, know when the auction date is, and structure your marketing campaigns with 3 to 4 sentence conversions. Next is Google Sheets. This is where you spend most of your time. This is your like free to use CRM for real estate deals. It's how you can make enough to buy a $250 a month system with the all in one setup that we rely on. Google Sheets will help you keep track of the following information: the full name, the property address, the email address, the contact phone number, the debt amount, and the auction date. This is all the crucial information that we really need in order to execute outreach. This is where you also keep track of like the notes from the seller, the conversations you had with them, the offers you've made to them, the like the AB, the BC contracts, the inspection dates, what the buyer said, how much they're willing to offer, and then any other details like close of escrow, the EMD submitted, etc. All that good stuff. Next, once your data is organized inside of Google Sheets, you'll need to skip trace the property address information and get the correct contact information, such as email addresses and phone numbers. Look, there's plenty of free and paid resources out there, depending on your budget, time, and effort. I normally give free skip tracing to my school members who are part of my community. If you don't want to join for $500 a month, I can offer a link to access Deal Machine and Assigns.com so you can get started with a 7-day free trial and skip the information yourself. Other resources are free resources like TruePeopleSearch.com, Cyber Background Check, Cash App, and Facebook. So with these free resources like True People Search and Cyber Background Check, you can find names, emails, phone numbers, and then use Facebook and Cash App to verify those names and numbers. And then you can also use mailmeteor.com to verify the emails by signing up and creating a free account and clicking on the email tools and then using the email checker. And you can individually put the email address in and verify the email address that way as well. Next is the outbound channels. So this is our multiple outbound system that will offer you a 3 touch point feature with the foreclosure funnel system. So I know majority of the people that I've been teaching in my school community, I've been showing them the email way to get opt-ins, right? But you technically need 3 channels, right? The least entry is emails, right? Like that's your best entry into setting up your campaigns, getting the conversation started, reaching out to people, seeing who's interested, right? But you also need to add the additional other channels like SMS and cold calling. There's compliance rules and all that stuff that you need to follow, but if you just follow the rules, you can still text people as much as you want. You can still call people as much as you want. Just follow the rules, right? And this is allowing you more ways than one to reach out to people. Remember to always stay in compliance by giving a person a chance to opt in or opt out, and respecting times you can send messages called quiet hours in most states, where you can reach out to homeowners, where you can't reach out to homeowners between 9 p.m. at night until 8 a.m. the next day. So like I said, some of these channels are going to be email campaigns, SMS campaigns, and cold calling. So there's an option where you might have access to a one-time fee that I charge people in the school community for $200, and then you get access where you can upload your list to me, and I send it to my VAs, and they make those cold calling. Or you can manually cold call yourself and reach out to your list. But cold calling is definitely a strategy that you should be using. What I do is I use ChatGPT or Gemini AI to write the templates for each of these outbound channels. So an example would be like, hey, ChatGPT, can you create a 5-day schedule for me with 2 to 3 line sentences that include an introduction, a reason, and a call to action where I'm reaching out to foreclosures? Please create a 5-day schedule for me for sending the initial email, SMS, and what to say when I cold call. Now, follow ups. Money is always in a follow up. The same structure you used in ChatGPT or Gemini AI, you could do the same here and create follow up campaigns for your 5-day period. It's best to know that you'll probably need to set up a 30-day schedule to help you with properly nurturing your list or your next list that you pull. The reason why you want to set up a 30-day schedule is because most of these auction deals or foreclosures that you go after, you're giving yourself time to contact the person, get in contact with them, get the property under contract, and then close it at title. So you want to give yourself enough breathing room. Typically, we do 45 days to 30 days in advance. So setting a 30-day schedule or setting up a follow-up schedule in a 30-day schedule is perfect. You want to keep following up every day until you get a response, or be sure like they're not interested. And then be sure to get creative with your messages or your campaigns and how you create them. As you know, the industry is showing that if you send a video clip of yourself showing proof that you're an actual person, that helps. Showing proof of the situation, something they can relate to, that you do have the information on your side and you do know what you're talking about, also helps. Or just simply sharing information about the foreclosure case and like the lawyer's responses, or you made it like a first attempt to reach out to their lender. Something that's going to help you connect with that homeowner or foreclosure case details is helpful when getting responses as well, allowing you to build that trust before the actual first phone call sometimes. Okay, and last, I just want this to be your final attempt before working another list, right? Like we all know the industry is manual work and this is a longer sales process. But before you actually move on to another list, make sure you make that offer, right? Because this is the system's built on just allowing you to make offers. So always move an old list into a follow-up section just in case they respond outside of your own work hours or months after you've executed your workflow steps here. So your very last message will actually be making an offer, right? Based on your lead choice. If it's an on market, like for sale by owner, something like that, we typically offer 30 to 40% below their asking price and take it from there. And if it's a debt amount, offer to pay the debt down to zero and then offer relocation assistance up to $5,000. Then once you see you've exhausted that list and no one has responded, move that entire list into your CRM as a follow-up or completed list, and then start pulling another list in another county and then start the workflow process all over again. So here's some important information I want you to know. As some people get what I call success block, right? They basically sabotage them from like taking action because they're not seeing results. They just tap out, right? Like, I don't want to be in this state. I've done everything I've done in this state. I need to move on to another one. Maybe I need to go into another one, whatever, right? I want you to work the state, right? The way you do this is by working multiple counties within that same state. When done correctly, you actually allow yourself time to come back to an area that may not have been a hot zip code at first, but months have passed and rates have changed, allowing sellers to change their mind. So what I normally do is I normally pick 10 counties at a time to keep things rotating, and then allowing myself enough volume, like 5,000 leads a month, to nurture some zip codes, you know, that can have like 10,000 people up to like 100,000 people per county sometimes. So this is going to allow you to stay busy. So, for example, so if I pick like Berks County, right? But I know there's like 5 different ways that I could get leads, right? I'll go into my first strategy, which is bid for assets. Once I go into bid for assets, I'll pull a list for Berks County, PA, see how many leads I could get out of it. That becomes a list, right? If I'm doing for sale by owner and I'm attacking those type of people and I want to offer 30 to 40% below their asking price, I'm going to manually go to Zillow, Redfin, or whatever, and I'm going to start manually building my list and put it into Google Sheets. And then that becomes a list, right? And then moving on to County Poll. Using County Poll, my affiliate website, I can start structuring around tax deeds or tax liens or foreclosures or whatever. Those type of leads that have that high established motivation already, and then make a list from that and then download that list, put it into Google Sheets, right? The idea is to try to go to different outlets and pull a certain amount of leads for that particular county so that you have a big list to work with for the month or for your 45 to 60 day cycle, right? So like I typically rotate my top 10 counties every 45 to 60 days. So there's a chance that I might be in Adams County this month in August, right? And then 30 or 40 days have passed by. Now I could jump into Berks, right? 30, 40 days have passed by again. I could jump into Chester. 40 to 60 days have jumped by. I could jump into Delaware, right? But mind you, like I'm building a list with different outlets to keep the volume high, keep it affordable, keep it under my budget, etc. Right? So I typically rotate my top 10 every 45 to 60 days. I hope that helps. So, this is basically what your daily workflow should look like when doing the foreclosure funnel system. A simple 4 step process that explains itself and offers you proper guidance to keep making multiple offers daily, right? The goal is at least 10 to 20 offers per day will suffice, right? But do 10 at first to get used to the nuance of it, but increase your chances to 20. I would expect 25 offers to get true results, right? Don't evaluate the deals, just make offers. Get the list, analyze it by the numbers, or basically pull it from where it needs to be pulled from, get the address, skip trace information, and then start sending out your campaigns, right? This is a 4 step process. Really, the manual work comes from the first 3 steps, and then the 4th step is just sending the offers out and then jumping back and then running another list of numbers, or like running another list of properties. So don't evaluate the deals, just make offers. When they respond, then you go over the numbers with the seller, like debts, rents, repairs, etc. Later on, whatever, when they start responding, when they start wanting to reach out to you, or they want to book an appointment with you and have a phone call, then you start pulling up the address and you start running your numbers with ChatGPT and figuring stuff out, and then moving forward from there. The system is designed only to help you pick a market, find the leads, and send out multiple offers. Analyzing the deals, checking if buyers want it, ARV, repairs, etc., which title company to pick, which contract to use, none of that stuff matters, right? You're simply just going to make offers, shoot all your offers out, right? Doing 25 offers a day, you're doing 25, 25, 25, 25. For 4 days already, that's 100 offers, 125 offers per week. You're looking at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 400. You're looking at 500 offers per month on average. If you want to increase that value, you could do that, right? But you're basically on average 25 offers a day, making 500 offers a month. That should allow you to get some type of reaction out of it. Typically, you try to look for like a 10% on the KPI side. 500 offers go out, at least 25 or 30 of those people should respond to you. That's enough to work with. So, if you'd like to see a live demo of how this all works together and what a typical day looks like when I pull the list, make my campaigns, and make offers, join my school community for $500 a month and start your 7-day free trial and get access to 5 free leads when you start that 7-day free trial. If you're watching this and we're currently in our weekly meeting, I'm going to show you exactly what the day looks like and how you need to stay on top of the entire process. But thanks for watching. See you in the next video. If you want access to the do-it-yourself tools and resources for finding deals and skip tracing, use my links provided in the description section or comment deal, and I'll help you get started. Thanks for watching. Now go out there and make offers. The rest will come later.